all with me out there? Just making sure that Facebook is kicked in, making sure the old guitar is in tune. And this is getting to be an old guitar. It's a few years now. I'm Raleigh Brown, and welcome, fellow curve flatteners, to an Easter morning concert. And here we go. So I have an interesting array of stuff for you today, and you will hear it coming up here. This first one is a Jackson Browne song, and I'm a big Jackson Browne fan. And I think what I'm going to do, I can hear all those little bubbles bursting, and I'm going to do that. I hope you all can still hear me. So here we go. Well, I've been out walking, and I don't do that much talking these days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do for you. And all of the times I had the chance to. Well, I had a lover. I don't believe I'll risk another these days. These days. And if I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song, well, it's just that I've been losing for so long. Well, I'll keep on moving on. Things are bound to be improving these days. Some of these days. These days I sit on cornerstones, count the time in quarter tones till 10, my friend. Don't confront me with my failures. I've not forgotten them. So that's Jackson Browne's song, These Days. I used to have a different kind of arrangement of it, but that I've heard him play it a few times, and that lick, that just sticks with me, so I figured I'll do it his way. It's nice to pay homage to people you appreciate. So I'm going to pay homage to another person I appreciated, and this was my late friend Steve Mann. And Steve was a brilliant but troubled guitarist. Lived on the West Coast. Was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was in his 20s. Disappeared for a long time after he had already become a legend in West Coast acoustic music circles. Reemerged around 2003, I think, and then I got to meet him in 2006 and spent a couple weeks with him, 1 week, and then another. Jan came out with me to California, and we spent time with him. Anyhow, his playing was just so magnificent. And this is one of his kind of signature arrangements, which, you know, it's mostly him. A little, maybe there's a little bit of me in there. Well, that's me. Well, I'm getting tired of sleeping in this low-down, lonesome prison cell. You know I would not be in this condition if it had not have been for a girl named Nell. Well, I walk the floor. You know, I just can't eat a bite. She used to be my rider, but she just would not treat me right. Well, I look into the mirror, all I see is the blues staring into space. You know, this cocaine and reefer, it just will not touch my weary case. And I asked that old jailkeeper, said, Governor, please take a few days off of my time. He said, you're lucky, long timer, you did not get that cold 99. Yes, I'm tired of sleeping in this low-down and lonesome prison cell. You know I would not be in this condition if it had not have been for a girl named Nell. And I asked that jailkeeper, I said, Governor, please take a few days off of my time. He said, you're lucky, long timer, you did not get that lifetime. Boy, it's a little early in the morning to be attempting that one. Whew. But we made it through. Nobody got hurt. So I'm going to play you a little instrumental. And first heard this tune, I had no idea what it was. And it was in the movie Chariots of Fire. And I went and saw that movie in 1981, I'd say 11 times in the theater. I spent a lot of money watching that movie. Now you can see it almost for free. And there's a scene in it where it's a very compelling scene, and this is the music that's playing in the background. I never knew what it was. I just knew that it was beautiful, and it really spoke to me when I saw it. And then a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, James Taylor put out his breaking the something break, like a pool cue break, that told the story on Audible of his first 21 years. And he was talking about learning these hymns when he was in school, in a religious school, and he would figure them out on the guitar. And then he played one, and it was this hymn. So I researched it and found it. It's called Jerusalem. And it was actually not a hymn, but it was, the music was put to a verse by William Blake. And the verse was about the putative idea that Jesus came to the British Isles during the missing years. So you can go find that online somewhere, and it's in that verse that that the phrase "chariot of fire" is used. So that's, I assume, why it ended up, why Hugh Hudson used it partially in the movie. Anyhow, I've figured it out on the guitar, and I still love it. I haven't played it in a while, so bear with me, and we'll see if I can get through it. So that's Jerusalem, and beautiful piece of music, and falls really nicely on the guitar, which is good since I first heard it from a boys' choir. So what are you gonna do? Rosemary Phillips, hi there, dear. Hope you guys are keeping well up there in Canton area. So one more Easter-related song. And this one was written by Ewan MacColl, British folklorist and songwriter. Actually, the guy who wrote The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, but not exactly a pop writer in general, real traditionalist. And it was later recorded by Phil Oakes, one of my guitar and music heroes. And I have a little bit of each version in here. So. Jesus was a working man, a hero as you shall hear, born in the town of Bethlehem at the turning of the year, at the turning of the year, when Jesus was a little lad. The streets rang with his name, for he argued with the older men, put them all to shame, put them all to shame. He became a wandering journeyman, traveled far and wide, and he saw how wealth and poverty lived always side by side, lived always side by side. So he said, come all of you working men, farmers and weavers too, if you would only organize, this world belongs to you, this world belongs to you. So the farmers sent to delegate, fishermen and weavers too, and they formed a working committee of 12 to see the struggle through, to see the struggle through. When the rich men heard what the carpenter had done, to the Roman troops they ran, saying, put this rebel Jesus down. He's a menace to God and man. He's a menace to God and man. The commander of the occupying troops, he just laughed and then he said, there's a cross to spare on Calvary Hill. By the weekend he'll be dead. By the weekend he'll be dead. Now Jesus walked among the poor, for the poor were his own kind, and they never let the cops get near enough to take him from behind, to take him from behind. But they hired one of the traders' trade, and a stool pigeon was he, and he sold his brother to the soldiers' troops for a fistful of silver money, for a fistful of silver money. And Jesus sat in the prison cell, and they beat him and offered him bribes to desert the cause of the working man and work for the rich man's tribe, work for the rich man's tribe. And the sweat stood out upon his brow, the blood was in his eye, when they nailed his body to that Roman cross. They laughed as they watched him die, laughed as they watched him die. 2,000 years has passed and gone, and many a hero too, but the dream of this poor carpenter remains in the hands of you, remains in the hands of you. So that's the Ballad of the Carpenter. I think we should all take it to heart. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to celebrate my own way of celebrating the holiday, the pagan holiday, is that Jan bought me some little Snickers eggs. I'm not saying you should buy Snickers. I also have a Cadbury egg upstairs. You might like that. Anyhow, I will probably be back. I want to join you, or thank you always for joining me. I'll probably be back on today's Sunday, probably on Tuesday at 3. We'll put up a post about it. And I always appreciate you guys coming to listen. And I appreciate that we're all trying to ignore advice to the contrary and stay in, stay safe, stay sane, and flatten the curve. I hope you're able to have a nice Easter today or Passover. And I see the Kokomo kid there. Hey, buddy. Okay, I'm out of here. You guys have a good day.